Come with me to Georgia in the years 2013 and 2014, when two young female high school graduates met in the unusual situation of state university exams. Shatilis Asulo and Tako Tsiklauri became friends and moved into a shared flat in the capital Tbilisi. Shatilis began to study tourism, Tako economics. Their randomly chosen subjects were foreign to them and they began to neglect their studies. They both loved music and singing. They preferred traditional Georgian music. This genre is internationally often called folklore. Shatilis had a friend from her previous school who was 3 years younger, Iruli, who could play the panduri well, a Georgian string instrument. In the name of Shatilis' university, the three friends took part in a music competition. They formed a group for the competition. Shatilis' mother contributed the name of the group, and so the Trio Mandili was formed in early 2014. They played at a few charity evenings and did not win the competition. In August 2014, Shatilis went on vacation to a small village not far from Tbilisi. Tako and Anna decided to visit Shatilis there. They all went for a walk together not far from the village, singing and playing panduri. As always, Tako had her cell phone with her and recorded the song Aparika. She posted the video on YouTube on August 23, 2014. After a week, the video had 500,000 views, and on September 20, 2014, over 900,000. That was the breakthrough. The Trio Mandili was now in demand, first abroad and then in Georgia. Over the next 10 years, the group changed enormously and became professional, but the basis of their success, the creation of YouTube videos, has remained. But where does the Trio Mandili record their videos? My video would like to show some examples. Let's get started. Tako Tsiklauri joined the trio on August 22, 2016, and studied Georgian and acting. The focus was now not only on the music, but also on the images. The video Erti Nakhvit was uploaded on November 12, 2016. The trio shot the video in Kuzbeki, also known as Stepantsminda. This is a picturesque little village in the north of Georgia not far from the Russian border. And the trio walked down this road singing and dressed somewhat traditionally.
Erti Nakhvit shemiqvardi qroqinat goxtamaro aba mitxaru shenobit rogarun dagavixaro dagli dalalo da jan gagomedashet dagli dalalo da shen miqarxar chemamzeo mets miqarxar shenski qarvara krogor gavitsqoroto ikzawi dad Tbilisia intitu chivi salato.
Perhaps the girls' happy expressions are also due to the mountain panorama. If you walk down Rustaveli Street and there are not too many clouds in the sky, you can see Mount Kazbek opposite, which is over 5,000 meters high. Almost 2 years later, the Trio Mandili released the song Chito-Gvrito on October 18, 2018. The song comes from the Soviet comedy Mimino, from 1977, and is still very popular today. And not just in Russia. The award-winning comedy is about a Georgian who works as a pilot for a local Georgian airline, and suddenly wants to make a career for himself. After some hilarious misadventures, he ends up back at work in his native Georgian town of Tel Aviv. And where did the trio record the song? At this very Tel Aviv airfield, of course, which has seen busier times and is now only occasionally in operation. Videos are possible with the permission of the security staff. In my opinion, the trio interpreted the song fantastically, both in their choice of clothing and the recording location. The song Osuri was uploaded to YouTube by the Trio Mandili on July 10, 2019. The first part of the song is in Ossetian, which is related to the Iranian language. The song was recorded in the middle of Tbilisi, very close to the Meteki church. The trio walks from east to west, facing east. In the restaurant above Tachuli's head there was good food, and this night view. The Trio Mandili probably got up early for the video Ertma bichma, which was released on August 18, 2019. The filming location is in the middle of Tbilisi's very popular baths district and is quite busy during the day. But as tourists and Georgians don't like to get up early, the trio had the walk at this early hour, all to themselves, and were able to shoot the dance scene with Mariam undisturbed. And what are the lyrics of the song about? Love, of course, like most Georgian songs. And the Bridge of Love, to which lovers have attached a myriad of locks, can be seen almost constantly in the background. This location was also chosen by the trio with thought and intelligence. A leap into the year 2020. Due to the corona pandemic, the trio had to cancel all concerts and had more time for videos. However, after a period of quarantine, traveling within Georgia was possible again. On August 4th, the trio released the song Enguro on YouTube. The lyrics are a mixture of Georgian pride of country and love song, and the trio moved the filming location to the banks of the Dariali River. The Enguro River from the song flows over 200 kilometers away in western Georgia. The castle complex in the background is called Ananuri, and was built from the 13th century onwards. Let's return to Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia. On August 15, 2020, the trio released the rather patriotic song Daukarit. This was renamed Salaghobo in December 2023 to release a new song with completely new lyrics under the name Daukarit. For the original and patriotic song, the filming location at the Meteki Church and in front of the equestrian statue of the founder of Tbilisi, King Vajau Gorgasili, was perfect. It doesn't get much more Georgian than that. The fortress in the background is called Nurikola, and was used for the military defense of the capital. It was built at the narrowest point of the gorge of the Meturi River, where the roads from Europe to India, and from north to south crossed. Although its name means impregnable castle, it was often destroyed and then rebuilt. In 1827, when Georgia was part of Russia, the powder magazine was struck by lightning and exploded. Large parts of the fortress collapsed, and it was not necessary to rebuild it for strategic reasons. We remain in the Russian era of Georgian history. The Russia-Georgia Friendship Monument was inaugurated in 1983. It is located on the Georgian Military Road, between the Gudori Ski Resort and the Jveri Pass. It is a large circular structure made of stone and concrete overlooking the deep Devil's Valley of the Iruli River in the Caucasus Mountains. For the Trio Mandili, a good backdrop for the song Dariali, released on September 26, 2020. This song is also quite patriotic, and is about some of Georgia's mountainous regions. Inside the monument is a large tiled mural. It depicts scenes from Georgian and Russian history. Now it's time to go far back in Georgian history. For the two songs Karo and Vajau, the Trio Mandili has chosen the ancient rock-cut town of Ossetian in eastern Georgia. The song Karo was released on February 13, 2021. The Hall of Tamar serves as the backdrop for the video. In the Hall of Tamar, the architects came up with something special. A replica of a typical Georgian wooden house hewn into the rock. Stone imitations of wooden beams decorate the ceiling. Arched openings lead to side rooms which served as pantries and sleeping chambers. By the way, band member Tako was officially born as Tamari. Tako is her nickname. In the song Vajau, released on February 27, 2021, the trio then walks from the minor gate towards the visitor center along the river. Ossetian is one of the must-sees in Georgia. It was built on a high rocky left bank of the Meturi River, and contains various structures dating from the early Iron Age to the late Middle Ages. Ossetian was identified by archaeologists as one of the oldest urban settlements in Georgia. Strategically located in the heartland of ancient kingdom of Kartli, it emerged as a major political and religious center of the country. With the Christianization of Kartli early in the 4th century, Ossetian seems to have declined in its importance. It lost its position to the new centers of Christian culture Mitsikita and, later, Tbilisi. Meanwhile, it continued to develop as a town. The Mongol raids in the 14th century marked the ultimate eclipse of the town. It was virtually abandoned. You might be wondering where Kakhuri is? The song with the donkey was also released in 2021, and is Trio Mandili's most successful song with over 40 million views. You can see in the video that something is being built there. Today there is a farm, and like everywhere in the world, farmers have to work hard, and have little time. While all the locations shown here are happy to welcome tourists, I would like to keep the location of both Kakhuri and Gautsine, Smile, which was filmed nearby in the fall of 2021, a secret. Out of respect for the farmer. Sorry. But I will reveal the name of the donkey. It's called Madonna. From Donkey to Seagull, the song released by the Trio Mandili on June 26, 2021 is called Tolia, or translated Seagull. The lyrics come from an old Georgian movie, and are about love and abandonment. The trio filmed the video in picturesque Stepantsminda in the north of Georgia, where the first version of Erti Nakhvit was also created, only in a different street. And because Stepantsminda is located at an altitude of 1,700 meters in the middle of mountains, it is very likely that the trio wanted to escape the hot Georgian summer here. The Zhin Valley Reservoir is located halfway between the north of Georgia and the capital Tbilisi. The Iruli River has been dammed here since 1986. On its banks lies the castle complex Ananuyuri, already known from the song Enguro. And there are also boats for hire, like this one. And so the Trio Mandili rowed a few hundred meters out onto the reservoir, which is only a few meters deep here, and recorded the song Deli, Dela, Dalasa, although Tachuli had to row with one hand and film with the other. Mariam was worried about her penduri, and Tako liked to rock the boat. Everything must have gone well, because the song was released on July 31, 2021. A brief digression into the history of the Trio Mandili. Just like Tako Tsiklauri, Panduri player Mariam Kurasbediani only joined later. Mariam was introduced on May 18, 2018 as a replacement for Erti Nakhvit, who had married and was expecting a child. Mariam comes from a region in the northwest of Georgia called Svaneti, and it is only natural that songs from the three musicians' regions of origin are included in the trio's repertoire, and Tachuli always praises Svaneti as such at the concerts.
In my opinion, Svaneti is the most beautiful region in Georgia.
So it's no wonder that at least 3 videos were then filmed in the tourist highlight of Ushguli and Upper Svaneti in 2022. Incidentally, the filming locations were only a few hundred meters apart. Ushguli is located in the southern foothills of the Greater Caucasus Mountains, in the upper Enguro River Valley, at the elevation of 2,160 meters above sea level. The song Iruli chkimda, Come to Me, is a Megrelian love song. The trio has given the video a short introduction in which Tachuli first admires Mariam's writing skills, and then, together with Tako, asks Mariam to get off her horse and start singing. While the trio wanders through the central part of Ushguli singing, and the young horse lender rides up and down, the medieval village center is presented in passing, so to speak. The well-preserved Svanetian fortified towers in particular have earned the village UNESCO World Heritage status. Incidentally, the defense towers were not built against external enemies, such as the Mongols, but for conflicts with other family clans living in the village. The Mongols never reached this part of Svaneti. With 6 months of winter, when it gets to -20 degrees Celsius, and the snow is often 3 meters high, this is perhaps understandable. In the old houses, the cattle and the family lived under one roof. Although the air was not the best, people and livestock kept each other warm. The song was released on September 18, 2022. Shortly before their tour of France in October 2022, the Trio Mandili released another video from Ushguli. Alublebi is a love song in which the first verse of the translated lyrics reads as follows. The cherries were already ripe. The fern was oozing fresh juice. Only now I see what I didn't notice then. Your body was shivering. Around 200 people in around 70 families live in Ushguli. Ushguli consists of 5 small villages that are connected by a long footpath, and the Trio Mandili chose this footpath as the location for their video. Three songs from Ushguli were promised. Here comes the third video. After returning from France, the Trio Mandili released the song Shatilis Asulo, the daughter of Shatilis, on November 19, 2022. This love song comes from the northeast of Georgia, where Tako was born. If you're wondering about the slightly different route the Trio Mandili is taking here, here's a simple explanation. The trio is walking through the front garden of a house, probably by arrangement with the owners. We stayed on the public path. A special feature is that the song was only written in 1960, and the protagonist of the song was still alive in 2022. Her name in the song, and in real life, is Fatima. Unfortunately, I don't know whether she was happy about the re-release of the song. I assume, yes, she was. Perhaps the Trio Mandili knows. At the end of the song, there was spontaneous applause from the bystanders. Tachuli thanked them kindly. And so that you don't lose track, the 3 filming locations are marked on this aerial photo. Wherever you see a pictogram of the trio, the respective video has been filmed, and the various songs are listed by name under the pictogram. At the end of my video, I go to the mountains again. Tachuli describes the song Sadghats shores as follows.
This next song is about the snow, and we decided to sing this song because of this. But it's not like there is snow and some kind of New Year song. It's like that somewhere far away there is a snow. But in Georgia, it's a small country and it's not so far away. It's like 3 hours away from Tbilisi, so...
Tachuli is right. It takes about 3 hours to drive by car from Tbilisi to Bakyriani. The small town of Bakyriani is located at an altitude of 1,700 meters in the Lesser Caucasus and, along with Gudori, is the most important winter sports resort in Georgia. Bakyriani is snowshore and family-friendly. In my opinion, the Trio Mandili chose Bakyriani Kids Park as the location for the video. On February 4, 2024, the song was released on YouTube. There you have it. This is my selection of Trio Mandili film locations. But don't worry about there might be not enough of film locations. Although Georgia is a small country, there are more than enough filming locations for the foreseeable future.